So to be clear, Mr. Trump has no financial relationships with any Russian oligarchs.
That's what he said. That's what I said. That's obviously what our position is.
I'm not aware of any of those activities. I have been called a surrogate at a time or two in that campaign, and I did not have communications with the Russians.
What do I have to get involved with Putin for? I have nothing to do with Putin. I've never spoken to him. I don't know anything about him other than he will respect me. Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing.
So, it is political. You're a communist.
No, Mr. Green. Communism is just a red herring. Like all members of the oldest profession, I'm a capitalist.
Hello, welcome to Mueller, She Wrote. This is AG. I go by AG because I can't reveal my name. I'm a government employee, and by the Hatch Act, I don't want to in any way associate my name or title with anything political. To be safe, that's why I go by a pseudonym. I'm joined, as always, by Jordan Coburn. Say hi.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
I notice I always ask how everyone's doing, and it's rhetorical. No one can ever answer.
No, tell us.
No, I like it.
Say it out loud right now.
To yourselves. I'd like to know. I'll feel it one day. She cares.
And also, we have Jaleesa Johnson.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going? We missed you last week, man.
I know.
It's good to have you back.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back.
Gotta make the money.
It's true.
All right, well, we're going to get kicked off here. It was a pretty slow news week, but we'll go right in with just the facts. And we'll start out with Tuesday, because nothing really happened on Sunday or Monday.
True.
It was Christmassy, Christmas time. I had a fever of 103.
No.
Ooh, yeah.
Jolly.
I was hallucinating, you guys. Like, I'm in bed, I have a fever, and I just kept saying, nope, 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 nope. Okay. Like to people who weren't there. And then I told my husband, I was like, I'm talking to people who aren't here. And then from then on, when I realized I was doing it, every time I went, nope, 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 I would go, damn it. So I'm laying there in bed like, no, damn it. Okay, damn it.
It's like a bad trip.
It was really insane. And then, so all of Christmas Eve and Christmas Day in bed, couldn't do it. So we opened our presents yesterday. But
did you go to the doctor?
No. If it went above 103, I would have gone to the doctor. But
way to power through.
Yeah, seriously.
Trooper.
I hadn't been that close, or I hadn't been that sick since. I felt like since I had chicken pox. It's been a long time.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so here we go. Tuesday, you guys. Trump continues his Twitter war against the FBI on Tuesday with a tweet that said, "Wow, at Fox and Friends, the dossier is bogus. Clinton campaign DNC-funded dossier. FBI cannot, after all this time, verify claims in the dossier of Russia-Trump collusion. FBI tainted." And they used this pile of crooked Hillary garbage as the basis for going after the Trump campaign, Mm-hmm. So he continued his little war, and that was fun to watch, as always. And then also on Tuesday, Newsweek reported that roughly 20% of all the activity from Russian propaganda accounts were focused on undermining faith in the Mueller campaign. So now Russian bots and Russian propaganda on social media is aimed at Mueller.
Jesus.
Interesting.
Real-time updates.
Yeah.
Also, a federal judge ruled in favor of 2 attorneys general seeking to subpoena the Trump organization regarding unlawful receipt of emoluments from foreign and domestic governments. Not sure what that's about, but now we're getting to attorneys.
Did you say 2 state attorney generals?
Yeah, two attorneys general from I think Maryland, and I can't remember where else.
That's pretty sweet. Can't pardon those.
No, you sure can't. So that's more of an emoluments thing. But who knows what the emoluments were?
Right.
Emoluments could be the dirt on Hillary Clinton. It could be, anything that is of value from a foreign government. That is illegal. So
yeah.
A federal judge cleared the way for those subpoenas. On Wednesday, it was reported that Mueller is now questioning RNC staffers and down-ballot RNC data analytics from 2016. That's going to come into play. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later.
Okay.
So stay tuned for that. I think I might have cracked something wide open, and it's pretty. I like it. I think it's significant. So
you should write a book.
No, that's too much. Inside source.
The podcast, the book.
Straight to book. They should have Netflix for books. It's called a library. Okay. Inside sources report Trump's legal team is preparing to cast Flynn as a liar if he accuses the president or his senior aides of wrongdoing. And this cracked me up. First of all, that two sources found this out from the Trump legal team, and that this is their strategy, is to cast Flynn as a liar. Like, this is the first time in the history of prosecutions where they've used somebody who flipped and was accused of lying. And as if Mueller doesn't have a defense already prepared for this. Like, this is
That's their big plan.
Yeah, like, you guys are so creative.
If it were a movie, it'd be a comedy, for sure.
Oh, yes. One day it's going to be made.
Oh, yeah.
Seth
A rom-com.
Rogen counting on him and
Putin
James
and Trump.
Franco to just do this as a movie.
Oh, my gosh.
It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. Like, that's how we do it. Good luck. So I'm interested to see how well that goes.
Yeah.
Flynn's brother tweeted at Trump, quote, "It's about time you pardon General Flynn, who has taken the biggest fall for all of you, given the illegitimacy of his confessed crime in the wake of all this corruption." He tweeted that to Trump, and then he immediately deleted it.
Oh.
Tweet remorse.
Well, duh. I mean, think of the 9 different things.
Is he talking about pardoning Flynn for that one count he got charged of?
Yeah. Yeah. Who has taken the biggest fall for all of you.
He probably got drunk and just, like, tweeted something late at night.
Yeah, or he's not being filled in. His brother's like, shh, it's okay.
Yeah,
We'll find out soon
exactly.
enough.
Yeah, or taken the biggest fall for all of you. Like, that's right there admitting that the Trump campaign is
But how
wrong.
much does he know? Yeah.
And
I want to know
given-
more about the brother.
Given the illegitimacy of his confessed crime in the wake of all this corruption, it's like, you just said like 9 things that, okay,
Yeah,
well,
that's
whatever.
a very complex
It's
tweet.
got a lot, yeah.
It's a shame he deleted it.
Yeah, no one will know whatever it ever happened. Dipshit. These people don't know how the internet works.
Scary.
On Thursday, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson told reporters that Russia meddled in the 2016 elections.
And the sky is blue.
We all know this, but Trump still refuses.
Right.
He won't even let his guys who brief him every day tell him that Russia, anything, won't
He's
even
never said it once?
No. He did one for like 1 second.
Oh, man.
But then he turned around and said, could have been China. Mm-hmm. Could have been a fat guy in his bedroom.
Could have been me.
Yeah.
And he has said Putin said he didn't do it, and he believes him.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Putin said he didn't. I believe him. He didn't meddle in the. And I don't know.
I've known the guy for 2 years. He wouldn't do something like that.
What else am I supposed to do? I asked him, and he said he didn't. The end. Oh, well, good. You should be an investigator, Mr. Trump.
It's the same team that says, just say that he's lying.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Flynn's a liar. Also on Thursday, Trump did an impromptu interview with Michael Schmidt of the New York Times at his property.
That was cool. That was really funny.
None of his aides were present, or they would not have let this shit go down.
They find out, they're just like, no.
They did. Oh my god. They were like creeping up on him. Like Hope Hicks was like peeking in. Like, what the hell is going on?
I just see this like the slow motion guys running toward him. No.
Yeah. He's like a child trying to liberate himself from his parents.
He was so happy
I'm
about
doing
it.
this one on my own.
Yeah. He wanted to brag about his tax thing.
And he did. He said a lot.
Yeah, and Jaleesa is going to go over that interview.
Mm-hmm.
That was your homework, so I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see here. Speaking of, that's it for Just the Facts this week, you guys.
Okay.
And so,
cool.
Jaleesa, we're going to just pivot right over to you and the Michael Schmidt New York Times impromptu interview.
Michael Schmidt. I love that last name.
Yeah.
It's fun to say.
Schmidt.
Yes. So this was really interesting because so on Thursday, Trump sat down with the New York Times reporter Michael Schmidt for a random 30-minute one-on-one interview at Mar-a-Lago. And this went down basically because one of the club members just introduced Trump to the reporter. And Trump was like, yeah, let's talk. So nobody was around. Nobody knew about this. And there were no White House aides at the interview at all. And basically he dropped it out of nowhere like a Beyonce album. And everybody is kind of freaking out. The White House, they seem pretty embarrassed by it.
Lemonade.
Yeah. I think it's dope because he's so proud of himself. Like we were talking earlier, he basically bragged about his love-hate relationship with the press. He talked about Mueller. He says that he thinks Mueller will treat him very fairly. And it was actually semi-decent, I guess, of Trump. Like, maybe someone filled him in that he shouldn't be trying to smear his name anymore. And he was like, you know what? Yeah, let me take care of this. Let me try to backtrack. And people are kind of digging that.
Or they staged it to try to make him look chill, and it was actually all...
Also well done. Yeah, I'm convinced. I mean, it's really weird because he also said some pretty Trump-esque stuff that kind of, I guess, countered it. Like, he said he has the absolute right to do whatever he wants with the Department of Justice. So that it kind of clashes with the whole Mueller, will be fair to him thing. But I think Mueller will be fair to him, so he's right about one of those things. And he denied any collusion with Russia.
How many times?
Countless.
16 times he mentioned no collusion with Russia in a 30-minute interview.
Wow. And also insisted that even if there was, it wouldn't be a crime. So, I mean, and he's right. We're all learning that collusion is not a crime, but it's just always interesting when someone's so insistent. And
conspiracy
is a crime. So, they're like cousins, I guess. They're pretty close. Yeah. And like you were saying, when Hope Hicks found out about the interview, like, she was the first person to kind of like just peek in just to make sure he was okay. And everyone around him seems pretty frazzled, but he was so proud. Like, he's really happy about the reception this is getting. He's happy we're talking about it. And he thinks he did a good job of kind of clearing his name once again. He's like, good job, Donnie. You saved the day. Now people will know the truth.
He's patting himself on the back. He's gonna dislocate his shoulder with all of his pats on the back.
It was just so weird, so random, but very Trump.
And I think I'm with you that the most significant get from that interview was that, first of all, when Trump said Mueller will be fair, which counteracts everything that the RNC and the GOP is saying right now in the House. And, quote, I have the absolute right to do whatever I want with the Department of Justice. That's kind of a scary, like, no, dude, no, bro.
You don't, yeah.
Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution gives you the right to appoint heads, cabinet heads, which is the Deputy Attorney General and Attorney General.
Right.
But everybody else and everything else that goes on in the DOJ, keep your fucking tiny hands off of it.
Right, it's independent, or it's supposed to be.
Or, I mean, it is all under him technically, but... We already talked about this last week, what an inferior official was and what the head department and cabinet heads are. He appoints them. They do the rest of the work.
Right.
That's how the separation of power is.
He's a Leviathan, just...
Right.
But yeah, I have the absolute power to do whatever I want with the Department of Justice, but I haven't for the purpose of hopefully being treated fairly by Mueller.
Oh, what a generous guy.
I know. So he's like, hey, Mueller, what do you say, pal? I haven't fired you. Be nice. So that's kind of the feeling that I get. That whole him loyalty asking everybody, like, come on, man.
It's like he's talking in his weird code, like in public. Yeah. But we all see through it.
I hope you'll see fit to treat me fairly. I didn't tell you to.
Russia, if you're listening.
I said I hope. Yeah, so that was an interesting little interview. It was so funny, too, when it came out. It was like a breaking story. Like, everyone's like, oh, holy shit, everybody. Trump sat down and talked to a person without the aides present. It's like, because that never happens. The dude doesn't give interviews, man. He shouldn't. Because he'll hang himself. That's
exactly.
Like, if your enemy is, don't interrupt your enemy when they're making mistakes.
He thinks he's his best spokesperson. I think he really, and that's a tough.
Can you imagine what he would have said about the AIDS babies in Haiti if his aides weren't around?
Oh, yeah. He probably thinks he eradicated HIV and AIDS because he fired the HIV/AIDS. Like, I think that's probably how his brain works.
Have AIDS.
Yeah, AIDS is gone. I fired it.
Yeah, and it wasn't even babies. Everybody from Haiti has AIDS. It was everybody.
Just worse.
Wasn't just the
AIDS
babies.
Oh, no.
Like crack baby basketball. Oh, such a good episode. Such a good episode. I think I brought that up like 3 times on this show now. You guys see it. Go watch it. South Park, crack baby basketball.
Make a link on the Facebook page for it.
If you haven't seen it, it's so good. All right. Thank you so much, Jaleesa. That was fantastic. Fantastic reporting.
Thank you.
Jordan, I want to flip over to you here, and I want you to talk a little bit about New York Attorney General Schneiderman, Eric Schneiderman.
I love these names. Schneiderman, the Jews. Oh, sorry, guys. That's so... We'll cut that out. I'll leave it in.
But it's just so... It just reminds me so much of how Trump and all the
Oh yeah, we're all part of the
the
problem.
House Republicans are like, I can't believe 9 of the 16 on Mueller's team are helped out Hillary Clinton, or they're Democrats in some way. And it's like, where do you expect to find highly educated Jews that have donated to Trump's campaign? Where are you going to find these people? It's like trying to find federal judges that are conservative that aren't idiots.
Yeah.
We already
love
know.
it.
We already know how that works out.
Yeah.
So, Jordan, hit it, man.
Yes. So New York AG Eric Schneiderman has proven to be throughout this entire administration a huge friend to all of those that are feeling under attack by Trump and his policies. They have actually taken legal or administrative action over 100 times. Maybe just 100 times when this article is published.
Exactly 100
Yeah, exactly
times.
100 times against the Trump administration. So they most recently, for example, sued the FCC over the net neutrality decision. And then before that, they've litigated or sued against the first, second, and third travel ban, the changes in birth control standards Trump tried to impose, and also changes in pollution standards. Yeah, and so
Schneiderman's beat him like every single time he's filed against him.
Yeah, he was also, fun fact, the guy that was leading the charge against Trump University as well.
Oh,
and then and there was just a $25 million settlement for that he got. And his public statement that he issued too when they won was so badass. And he was like, and we're also getting him to give us $1 million to replace state of New York.
Nice.
To pay for all the fines he broke.
I need him to be my lawyer. That's awesome.
He's a close second to Comey, I would say. In the,
Very cool.
In the sexy justice.
Yeah.
Sexy justice. we should put out a sexy justice calendar.
Yeah.
For 2018.
Fantasy boyfriend league.
Can anyone Photoshop?
We can make it happen.
Wait. Could this have been the origin of a great new calendar series?
Let's
for
do
real?
it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay.
We can do word of the day, and then we can do the sexy justice calendar.
Yeah.
It'll just be Comey and Mueller and Schneiderman over and
That's
over
all
again.
you need.
4 times each.
We'll do it like one per quarter.
Yeah.
How many sexy justice people are there?
That is so perfect.
I almost
yes.
said sexist juicy people instead of
Very
sexy
different.
justice people.
I like that you conceive of people that are both sexist and juicy.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but Eric Schneiderman, just a huge friend, really. Like I said, to, I don't even want to say the underdogs, because Trump fucks everyone. He's just the fan to people that are getting screwed over by all his policies.
Right.
Interesting fact also, he's not the only state AG that's doing this. Like we were talking about the 2 that you mentioned, I think. Right?
I may have.
No, I mentioned 2.
Oh, it was you. Oh, okay. Yes,
Vance
AG.
is also in on this. He's another New York Attorney General.
Oh.
There's a bunch
Yeah.
that are.
That's awesome. In California, we have an extra fund set aside right now for the AG to battle Trump administration policies.
Tax dollars at work.
Specifically, mostly for sanctuary state stuff.
Right, because of what they're trying to do with
it's like I found out this is the first time this has ever happened in federal government buildings. They have to put up a picture of the president and the secretary of whoever's in charge of that place.
Right.
So when they took down all the Obama photos from the department, the federal department that I work for, and replaced them with the Trump photos, they actually had to put together budgets for vandalism. They've never had to do that before. They're like, we're gonna get so much.
So you're saying if I did it, they could technically cover it.
So many like Van Dyke mustaches and arrows through the head and probably like jizz globs on them. They're like, we gotta have a budget for the vandals.
The Hitler stash for sure. It's gotta be number 1.
That are about to happen. The monocle and the Hitler stash.
That's amazing. And I imagine there's a bunch of Republicans that see this stuff happening, and they're just thinking, "Yup, just a part of the coordinated attack on Trump. This is a countrywide witch hunt. All these AGs.
It's not a cry for help at all.
Setting money aside to fight." Yeah, I mean, it just comes down to the constituencies and people actually being a good politician representing their people.
And what other option do we have?
Blue. Yeah,
all we can do is vandalize.
Yeah, it's interesting. What's
to get our point across.
What's so great about Schneiderman too, I think, is, and these other AGs that are doing similar things, is they're almost, I imagine them as a goalie in this game, and Trump's trying to just fucking get things past us, and these people luckily still have a position there. And last thing, people are kind of looking to him maybe as a solution if you mentioned this in the beginning, if he tries to use his power to, pardon people that should be prosecuted.
Yeah.
And then he has been on the record saying, not necessarily that that's what he's planning to do, but that he's going to do everything that he can do to help, any bad things that he's trying to do.
That's awesome.
But he hopes it doesn't come down to actually criminally
I like that dude.
The president. Or
He's a good dude.
We should tweet him. See if he'll tweet us back.
Tweet at him at Schneiderman. I think I've
Tell him
tweeted him a few
need
times.
his assistance.
Yeah. Oh, and
Something.
one last quick thing too. GOP AGs totally did this with Obama as well. So anyone that's trying to say that it's some coordinated Democratic effort.
No, the Attorney General sued the EPA 14 times.
Yeah,
that guy's
Scott
now in
Pruitt.
charge of the
Yep.
EPA.
Wow.
Yeah, this is what happens. This is part
that's
of the
the
checks
pattern.
and balances system. This is the judicial branch checking the executive branch. This is
Yeah.
how shit works. So stop your bitching, stop your whining. If nobody's done anything wrong, everything's going to be fine. And if they have, then you should be sad that you voted for that guy. Probably not going to happen. But some other things that I thought were interesting in that Schneiderman story were all the names that Trump's called Schneiderman in the past. He's called him a lightweight, nation's worst attorney general, dopey. He's called him dopey.
They could all be mugs.
He's accused him of wearing eyeliner. He wears Maybelline eyeliner.
That's homophobic. That's
Maybe
cool.
it's Maybelline.
Calls him a cokehead. Kushner called him a Clockwork Orange guy because he's got the... Okay, here's the thing. Schneiderman takes medicine for glaucoma, which darkens his eyelashes. And then Trump and Kushner are making fun of him, saying he's a lady man and wears guyliner and mascara. And it's just...
That's their big thing. They're just
Yeah, girly.
such bullies. So what if he's a lady man?
First of all, so the fuck what?
Yeah. Second of all, he's probably not.
Second of all, the dude's sick, man. He's got some glaucoma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
Maybe
called him
he's
a
born
Man,
with
the
it.
color of your eyelashes you can catch shit
Right?
for.
He should just smoke
so-
weed, though. That would solve that problem.
I think he's got pretty eyes, and you'll see in our close-up photo of him in our justice calendar, our sexy justice
That's
calendar.
right, yeah.
He'll be on
We
there.
should start a Kickstarter.
Honestly, yes.
Do it. I'm excited. All right, so let's see what my homework was. Oh, the campaign to discredit Mueller. Okay.
Ooh.
Now, I don't know. Maybe it's a little genius. Maybe it's just obvious. But here's what I think. First of all, the campaign to discredit Mueller comes mostly from where? Do you guys know?
Like which person? Group?
Which group?
Congressional Republicans.
Yes, but Senate or House?
House.
It's the House. It's full on the House, particularly the House Intelligence Committee, House Judicial Committee. They're the ones who keep stonewalling this investigation, stacking up the interviews, hiding them in New York,
Right.
doing it during the tax vote, so they have to send staffers.
Yeah.
When they did Rona Graff and Alex Sater, who's a mafia dude, and getting it so they have interview after interview after interview so that the Democrats on the House committee don't even have time to prepare. And they're the ones who sat down and questioned Rod Rosenstein that whole day, saying, you're basically trying to discredit the FBI. It was the House that had that little subset of Republicans that were using the top secret documents from the investigation to go off and meet in secret to try to discredit the FBI
Right.
by saying the dossier was stupid and it had no credibility.
Yeah,
and
funded by Democrats, even though it was
funded by
Republicans, too.
Funded by the FBI and the Democrats. This is all coming from the House of Representatives, particularly the committee. Okay, so they also have called to purge the FBI
Yeah.
because of people like Strzok and Page who sent 375 text messages that some said that Trump were a piece of shit. Like that isn't what everyone was thinking.
Right,
at
and
the
it talked
time.
about tons of people, too.
And the fact that first of all, you cannot hire or fire anyone based on their political leanings, and that bias is going to exist in any structure, whether it's political bias, whether it's racial bias, religious bias, gender identity bias, anything. And everybody knows, and the government is set up in such a way that these biases exist. You can't tell people to stop being prejudiced. You can't say, just stop it and don't be that way.
Right.
You have to put things in place. You have to put policies and rules in place that help mitigate these biases. For example, as I told you, when I hired people, I did nothing but phone interviews, and I would not know the people's names before I interviewed them. So that I didn't know their name couldn't tell me anything about their nationality. I couldn't see them. And I did this for myself and for the other people interviewing these people. So we put these things in place to mitigate these biases.
Nice.
And the FBI does this to the nth degree, okay?
Right.
First of all, the FBI is traditionally a conservative group of folks. These is like, think cops, you know. You're not going to be like, those Democratic cops always favoring the black people.
Those yuppies.
It's not that way. They've always been very conservative. 'Cause to be in the FBI, you have to be straight-edged. You can't have ever had a problem. You can't have ever committed a crime. You can't have smoked dope once. You can't, nothing.
Go by the rule of law,
You
by
have
the
to
book.
go complete. You have to be completely clean. And that's going to be rich, white, boring dudes, basically.
Oh, yeah.
And these are going to come from Republican families. So generally, it's just always leaned that way. So, but they have policies in place to prevent those biases from affecting the way that they do their jobs.
Right.
Okay. And that's we should all work that way.
Yeah, you can apply it to any industry.
Any business, any industry. You're not going to get rid of the bias. Just put policies in place to mitigate them.
But they just want to fire them. They just want to purge them, as they say.
They wanted to get rid of them all.
Why is purge? It's a terrible word choice. We've all seen the movies.
That and just to think that we would go in and employ a group like the FBI or the CIA based on political leaning. If you don't give loyalty to a specific political party, that you can't work there. That's bone chilling. That's fascism. That's fucked up. And to hear politicians, particularly Republicans who have been anti-Russia since we can remember, saying no, if they at all think this is happening, or if they never donated to Trump, they can't work for the FBI. Whoa, like that's
weird.
That's gross to me. No. You're allowed to have your own political beliefs. Your spouses are allowed to do their own thing.
Yeah, we should purge the GOP though, because we can do that. They're our representatives. Well, not in my neighborhood, but
you should be able to. But the lines make it a little hard. But
that's true.
So then also they've attacked McCabe. You know,
right.
They've attacked Baker. They removed him. McCabe is going to retire. They're probably going to go after Bowditch and Rybicki, who I talked about last week. I still haven't heard anything yet, but it was Christmas.
This is so creepy.
So Trump's widespread effort to stop the Russia investigation comes from the House. Okay. Now, the GOP back in 2016 used hacked documents from Guccifer 2.0 to win several down ballot races in key swing districts. About a dozen House races, House Republican races, were won using Guccifer 2.0 hacked materials. Okay? Droves of hacked documents passed on to GOP operatives from Guccifer 2.0, and one of the GOP operatives said, if your interests align, never shut any doors in politics. However, it's illegal to take in-kind contributions from a foreign state, whether, even if it's Canada.
Right.
That's illegal. So 12 or so House races. So Nancy Pelosi wrote a letter to Paul Ryan saying, hey, House of Representatives leader, guy, please, you have to stop using hacked documents in the House races. She said, quote, if this action continues, the NRCC will be complicit in aiding the Russian government in its efforts to influence American elections. The GOP never responded.
It's so plain and simple, too, and a nice letter for such a terrible thing to do.
Yeah. Well, now Mueller is questioning those RNC staffers. Mueller, involved in using Guccifer 2.0 documents to influence these down-ballot House races. He's also investigating the 3 data analytics firms that were hired by Trump during the 2016 election to handle these down-ballot races. Those 3 were run and coordinated by Jared Kushner, and he wants to determine the level, if any, the level of involvement the Trump campaign had in aiding Russia in targeting these down-ballot House races.
I love it.
So,
Kushner.
Yeah, man.
So Trump, Mr. Obstruction, comes to the Senate. Remember, we reported this a couple episodes ago. He came to Burr. Senator Burr came out. He's the head of the Senate Intelligence Committee, and said Trump came to him and said to stop the Russia investigation. And when that didn't work, Trump went to 5 or 6 of his subordinates in the Senate, other senators on that committee, and told them to pressure Burr to stop. So and immediately the senators went to the FBI and to Mueller and said, dude, bro, he's telling us to stop this thing. Then he comes at Comey in the FBI. The FBI is investigating. It's not just the Senate and the House, it's the FBI.
Right.
So he goes to him and tries to get him to stop. Hey, stop investigating Flynn. Stop investigating Russia. Come on, buddy. I need your loyalty. Loyalty to me? Promise? Corners him alone in the Oval Office. Shoes out Jeff Sessions, who's doesn't want to go, and he corners him, big, tall, hot Comey, and he's like, look, buddy, I know I got tiny hands, but could you please stop this? And then when he doesn't, fires Comey, fires Sally Yates. Okay, so Trump has tried to get them to stop investigating Russia at every turn. Which group has not gone to the FBI and said, we've been asked to stop investigating?
The House GOP, right?
Which group has Trump gotten to and is trying to stop this Russia investigation?
It's so clear.
Why? Is this why all the stonewalling is coming from the House? Is this why Paul Ryan is doing soul searching and deciding to possibly retire?
Nice.
Is this why the hacked RNC documents? Because when Guccifer hacked the DNC, he hacked the RNC too, but the RNC ones were never released. Who has those? Is the House GOP compromised?
So if they have a PP tape on Trump, do they have more PP tapes on everyone? What's the equivalent there? What are they?
Those House Republicans used Russian documents, hacked Russian documents to win their elections.
So that's all they would need. That's enough. Like if they can tie that, then they're all in trouble.
They're compromised. That's why they're trying to shut down this Russia investigation.
Oh, that's trippy.
And now Mueller is investigating these data analytics firms and the whole digital campaign from Trump all the way down to the down ballot races in the House.
And he just subpoenaed to get those documents?
Well, he's been looking into it for a few weeks now, but we just heard about it.
From the RNC?
This last week. I don't know who told who. I don't know how this leaked out, but those RNC staffers are now being looked at.
Wow. So we'll probably start seeing more and more come out about that investigation.
Yeah. I totally forgot, too, that was a big question mark. It's like, what would they have on the House? Like, what could they possibly have?
Well,
and this is
I think it's a combination. I think it's a combination of RNC emails that were hacked by Guccifer that Trump has, and he's using that as compromat, which is the Russian term for compromising, blackmailing material.
Yeah.
Over them to get them to stop this investigation and to discredit the FBI. And I think that's why the House Republicans are the only ones who aren't playing ball. They're the only ones who also used this Russia information. They may have also colluded with Russia or conspired with Russia to win their down ballot elections.
That would explain why when Paul Ryan had that video leak come out where it said he was like, no leaks from that's how we know we're a family. Do you remember that?
Jesus.
It was so creepy because this was probably a year ago now that I think about it. He was like, nobody's saying anything.
Together.
Yeah, and I remember thinking, why would you be so eerie about that? What are you possibly talking about?
Yeah, and now he's done some soul searching.
Oh, well.
And now he might end up retiring. But he got his tax plan. He's rich as fuck.
What if he doesn't find a soul? What does he do then?
Soul searching. File deleted.
He's like, just as I suspected. Just had to make sure. Back to work.
Nothing, yeah. I'm going to run again, you guys. Didn't find a soul.
That's great.
Sold it.
And sold it.
Marco Rubio wants the probe to continue, right? That's what he says.
There are House Republicans who are like, what the hell is going on?
It's
Please continue.
Time. Yeah.
The Senate is like, dudes, stop it. And so, I mean, Trump has a clear record of going to everybody to tell them to stop, and only one group hasn't stopped, or only one group is trying to stop the investigation.
Yeah.
And it's the one who has compromising material out there on them. So,
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
And then everyone thinks, or a lot of GOP supporters think, but we should be investigating Hillary right now.
Oh, yeah.
So
And
not
Obama,
moving
too,
on
now
to
that
all
you
the-
mention it.
yeah,
Yeah. And Mueller himself, really. Everyone should be. We should
Fine.
look into everything.
And you know what? Here, John Spurlock, this is for you. Let me tell you, after you're done fucking me in the heart. Here's the thing. There are investigations going on. The Office of the Inspector General is looking into these things. They're looking into the Uranium One deal. And everyone's talking about how Mueller was a director of the FBI when the Uranium One deal went down, and why didn't he stop it? Well, it's not the FBI's job to do that. There were 5 other government agencies that review those deals, and the 5 other government agencies that reviewed it let it go through. Mm-hmm. It was not Mueller's job, by law, to look into that.
What were those other agencies? Do you know any of them?
I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, that's a good question.
But
I'm letting myself.
there you go.
I'm like, wow. I'm gonna play
Julissa, why don't you tell us? But, it's like, shut up. It's this whole, it's not his job to do that.
Exactly.
So shut up about that. Okay, well, he oversaw all that. No, he didn't. He was in charge of the FBI, which has nothing to do with that. It's insane, all this.
And then the Clinton emails, can't that argument be shut down by the fact that almost everyone on the Trump campaign used insecure emails? Like, wasn't that like one of the first headlines of when Trump got elected, was that they also used like their personal emails?
They're using private emails.
Yeah, and I get that.
Comey came out and said that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there were, and you know what, she shouldn't have used a private email server, and they determined that she shouldn't have, and that it was not grossly negligent or criminal. Had they found any inkling of criminal activity, they would have put a special prosecutor in there. The House Intelligence Committee and Judicial Committee for the House and the Senate interviewed her for 11 hours, and she didn't plead the fifth once. She answered all their questions. They didn't find anything. Maybe that makes her a better criminal than you.
Yeah.
But basically, the way that shit works in this world as far as special counsel goes, because the House GOP is calling for a special counsel to investigate the investigation and investigate Obama and Hillary emails and the Uranium One deal. Great. The OIG, the Office of the Inspector General, is looking into that. This is how it works. The OIG goes in, does an investigation. If they find enough of criminal intent, they appoint a special prosecutor.
Right.
If they don't, they are legally not allowed. Mm-hmm. Okay. So if you think Comey wasn't already all over Hillary's emails, he could have single-handedly wrecked the election for her.
Yeah.
Okay. He'll still go in my sexy justice calendar.
With a sad face.
Yeah.
But it's not like he was on her team.
Right.
So stop it.
There's also Benghazi and Pizzagate, though. So many stories.
And Seth, what is his name? Seth Rich, or the guy, the campaign staffer who got
was murdered by the WikiLeaks or something.
Hillary stabbed him in the face in her pizza basement while she was fucking children.
Fucked him in the heart.
Basically.
Oh my god, that's right.
Basically how that happened.
Oh my god.
You haven't heard about this?
I used to work security. It's a quick story, and I was doing an overnight shift, watching over some stage for a music festival,
right?
And so in the middle of the night, the fog has rolled in, and this man that I don't know is my partner for the night, and he looks to me and he's like, "Did you know Hillary fucks children?"
That's great.
It's like, when you're a kid and you're like, the creepy neighbor, he's holed up in there, he shoots children in the feet and then eats their ears, or whatever.
Yeah,
you have that weird...
Oh, and she's a vampire also.
Sandlot. Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Busy woman.
Really? Because she's not aging well for a vampire.
Yeah.
No offense,
She's
Hills.
a really old vampire.
She didn't turn until she was 62. Yeah.
I think about how when you talk about like far left conspiracies versus far right, the furthest left conspiracy I can think of is like the pee-pee tape. Like I even feel silly when I tell my friends, but I'm like, I kind of believe it. And then the furthest right conspiracy I can think of is something like Pizzagate or like Obama not being from America. And I'm like, those are, they're all offensive. They're all terrible things to be accused of. But, like, there seems to be just, like, there's a little more of an imagination going on that side. And I
They're bringing the
for
supernatural into it.
At least our conspiracies are sexy.
Yeah, like the PB tape, like, we can all kind of get behind, like, hey, we all have,
Children pizza rings, though? Like,
well, not that one.
But the PB tape, that's sexy shit right there.
Yeah, I would say, not personally, but...
In fact, if he actually did that, that would be, like, the one thing I would respect about it.
Yeah, it's humanizing,
Yeah, it really is. Brings them down to earth. All right, you guys ready for some sabotage?
Yeah.
Holy cannolis.
Ooh,
Okay.
I'm excited for this.
That was my Scaramucci.
I want some
I haven't had
cannolis
data
now.
for the last 2 days, so this will be real exciting.
Today, hours ago,
Oh, snap.
New York Times reports that the intelligence probe was launched. This whole Russia investigation was launched. Not because of the dossier, but because a tip that the FBI got from an Australian dude who was getting drunk in a bar in London with Papadopoulos in May of 2016. And Papadopoulos told the Aussie he had that the Russians had gotten him dirt on Clinton and that Russia had thousands of Clinton emails.
Oh, my God.
Okay? So the number one, I feel like the number one focus, particularly from the House and Trump supporters and the GOP and Trump himself, is that the dossier, you can't, none of this is legal. It's all under Fourth Amendment illegal search and seizure, because the whole reason you started this investigation was because of this dossier that is fake.
Funded by the Democrats.
Funded by the Democrats, funded by the FBI, which is complete lies, but whatever, let's say it was. And this dossier is what kicked off the whole investigation. It's not. They can no longer use that as their fucking crutch.
Beautiful.
Because this investigation was kicked off because Papadopoulos mouthed off drinking in a bar in London to an Australian dude. He's like, dude, fucking Russia, they're gonna get all this shit on Hillary. They're gonna get all this shit on Hillary for me. I got all this dirt, thousands of emails.
This is going in the movie for sure. That scene has to go in the movie.
The Aussie told the FBI. The Aussie's all, hey, bro, your buddy here is talking about this shit. And
it actually happened.
That's what. Yeah, fucking. That's my mate. Thanks, Australia. I owe you a Foster's or whatever you drink for real.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You had to find out how to dial our country's numbers.
Yeah. Didn't Trump hang up on the Australian president?
Yeah, there you go.
We need to apologize. We need to call him back.
That's what you get, you dick. We're hanging up on the Aussies. Oh my God. So Crocodile Dundee called up the FBI, and that is why they opened the investigation into the Russia probe. It has nothing to do with the dossier, so try again, Republicans.
Yes.
And you whiny bitches.
I won't put it past them, though. I think they'll come up with something even crazier. I think this might be a challenge that they will step up to.
They do it every time.
Yeah.
They do it every time. They're like, nope, not that. Okay, this. Nope, not that.
They should get into creative jobs, not the government.
We'll call but they're not good at it.
Yeah.
Paint Flynn as a liar who's a flipping witness.
Actual paintings, like get into art.
Just paint. Okay, yeah. You know what?
They tried to write children's books, but they failed.
Oh my gosh,
so
that'd be great.
Oh, you know what? We could start a series of children's books written by Trump and Papadopoulos.
Guys, we need
the lessons they wish they could actually instill in small children that are otherwise regulated.
Yeah.
So this whole tweet this week about Trump claiming the dossier was the catalyst, this whole little subset of Republicans getting together in the dark, trying to use all of the top secret evidence from that the House Intelligence Committee is using in the Russia probe, trying to get together to discredit the FBI and the dossier, and even try to find criminal intent behind using the dossier to open up the investigation. Go fuck yourself.
It's all shut down. I love it.
So this explains why Mueller was interested in Papadopoulos.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2, it cast doubt on the White House claim that Papadop was a nobody. Mm-hmm. By the way, I watched 8 Mile this week.
Yeah. Oh my God, me too.
Still a nobody, just a loudmouth.
I love that movie.
I totally watched it. It's really good.
Papadop was like, fuck.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
He dropped the mic.
He sat there and he did his fucking freestyle, and he's like, look, what are you going to tell him? You going to tell him I'm white and live in a trailer with my mom? You going to tell him I'm a piece of shit and that my buddy shot himself in the leg? Blah, blah, blah. He took every fucking weapon away from him.
Right at him.
And I was like, Trump's going down. All right,
to recreate that scene with like Papadop's face on Eminem.
Yeah, we totally should.
Or Papadop.
I'm just gonna call Papadopoulos Clarence from now on.
There we go. Yeah.
No, so it cast doubt on that whole thing that Papadopoulos was a nobody. He was a coffee boy. He was nah. Mm-hmm. The White House, Cobb, the lawyer for the White House, came out and said about this today. Out of respect for Mueller, we are not commenting. What? Take back all your tweets, you piece of shit.
Yeah, now you have respect for Mueller. What got into them?
Well, we'll find out, because that's a weird tack to take. Mm-hmm. Where are they headed with this?
Yeah.
They're not going to fire Mueller. They're calling him fair. They're respecting what he's doing.
I don't like it.
I know, like
placating him.
What is
This is the plot twist in the movie where things really go crazy. I bet.
Why are you doing it this way? What's your game?
Backup plan? This is a front, probably.
They are losing every single time, and they're playing checkers. Mueller's playing chess. Every single thing that the Republicans come in with, Mueller's like, I'm 4 steps ahead of you already.
I'm hoping so, because I don't any like crazy. I just don't want to be any surprises. That would be really sad if somehow Trump was ahead of the game.
Yeah, so this totally pulls the rug out from under Trump and the House GOP, because all they want to do is discredit that dossier and basically say, nothing you could find. It's that whole thing like where you pick up your ex's phone and go into their emails and find out they're cheating on you, and your significant other's like, it doesn't count because you went into my phone. You know. Yeah. So
respect my privacy.
So they're saying everything that's come out of this investigation can't be used under the Fourth Amendment because it was illegally obtained using a dossier that doesn't have any credibility and was paid for by the Democrats, which is bullshit anyway. But now you can't even use that bullshit argument.
Right.
Your bullshit is bullshit.
So maybe they are scared then. Maybe they're just actually hoping that Mueller will be like sweet to him.
Start kissing his ass. Yeah. We don't got anywhere else to go. I don't know. That doesn't seem like them.
Seems too easy. Yeah.
The Trump campaign never went to the FBI with this information.
Okay.
The Australians did. So that's
another
interesting.
Thing. Yeah. That's like finding out from someone else that you were cheated on. You know.
Yep. And it is illegal for any American to receive or solicit anything of value from a foreign government. When did he? What was this? Knowing, actively seeking, or receiving? Oh, so basically, we're wondering, when did Papadopoulos? Because he told this Australian, they got the info, they're going to give it to me. This is May 2016. This is a month before the June 2016 meeting took place. Okay, and this is 2 months after Papadopoulos came onto the campaign. So when did he know? When did he go from knowing that there was dirt on Hillary to actively seeking it out or receiving it?
That's the question.
That's important.
Yeah.
So that's May. The meeting was in June. July was when the FBI went to him and said, the Russians are going to try to contact you. Have you heard from them?
Mm-hmm.
Australia had already told him about it.
Dang. They were doing power plays even back then.
Comey's the fucking man.
Comey's the boss. I have faith again.
Suck on that.
That's good. That's a good play.
So, you guys, that's what I've got for this week. Do you guys have anything else to add?
I wanted to add that wouldn't it be cool if there was like maybe like an animation or something where it was Obama as president again, but he was doing everything that Trump's doing, like an alternate universe where he gets away with it, and we just see how ridiculous it looks. Because Obama has so much grace and class that I just feel like he, of course, he couldn't get away with this, but like even like the smallest things that Trump does that are illegal, like. It's pretty huge things in comparison. So, I don't know. That's just a random thought I was having.
Yeah. Are you high?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I lasted the whole podcast, though.
What were we just talking about?
I lasted a good hour.
That just seemed like one of those, like...
Total stoner thought.
What is money? You know?
I love it, yeah.
Type of questions. I was like, dude, I know what's up.
I'm going to doodle that later. The storyboards are going to be done tonight.
I want to see it. I want to see it. We can bring it up. You guys, next week, I am really interested in the response that Capitol Hill has about the revelation about Papadopoulos in the Australian jam session that went on, bragging to him in the bar in London. Yeah. I want to see what Schiff thinks about it. I want to see what Burr thinks about it. I want to see what all my regulars think about it. I'm excited to see, and we're going to report on that next week. It's going to be really fascinating. Also, please, guys, follow us on Twitter. We're getting like thousands of likes and thousands of retweets, but we only have like 9 followers. Like we would need, like I have in our little profile, like we're brand new, so that we don't look
like little babies.
Ridiculous.
We are babies.
We only have 9. Like, but please come and follow us on Twitter, even if you hate us. John Spurlock, follow us on Twitter. You love it.
Laugh.
Our number 1 fan.
Yeah. You know, argue with us. Yeah. Get on there.
Some fuel for your hate.
Yes.
You'll love it. Find us on Facebook at Mueller, She Wrote, and come and like that page. We're getting close to 1,000 likes. That's interesting.
Nice.
We're getting about 400 downloads and per episode now. It's getting legit, you guys. And so get in on the ground floor, please, on Podbean if you can. Follow us, like us, or subscribe, or whatever the Podbean equivalent is, because that's how we get noticed. And Podbean might be like, you guys are fancy, and might give us like some add banner space or whatever. And because I'm funding this myself. This is a total little nonprofit AG joint. So
AG joint, I like that.
AG joint. That's going to be your
production company.
So please, and then when you hit us up on Twitter, when you follow us, and when you like us on Facebook, ask us questions. Let us know what you want to know about, because I fly through these things assuming that you guys know what emoluments are and what a constitutional crisis is, and you might be like, whoa, back up, and could you please explain WTF? Because, I'm so engrossed in this, and Jaleesa and Jordan are so engrossed in this, that we're used to these terms and catchphrases, and you might not be. And this is supposed to be a podcast for the people. I want this to be for you guys so that you can understand in easy sound bites every week what's going on and where we're at. That's why I created this. This is why I wanted to do this. Plus, I just get off on it. I'm a political junkie. It's a sickness.
I love it.
Thank you. So please follow us, find us, like us, enjoy us, rub us on your crotch, and we will see you guys next week. Thanks for listening to Mueller, She Wrote.